Hey guys, this is Nick. Hoping you're all safe in your homes while enjoying games and stuff in these lockdowns. We are back with this month's best new PC games. Let's dive straight into the best PC games of April 2020. Starting off the list, Resident Evil 3. It's a very anticipated survival horror game by Capcom in the Resident Evil series. It's a remake of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis from 1999 and follows Jill Valentine and Carlos as they attempt to survive a zombie apocalypse. You will like the return of the original Resident Evil protagonist Jill Valentine in a story that plays out at the same time as Resident Evil 2. The Nemesis is an unstoppable creature that pursues Jill throughout the game as she attempts to escape Raccoon City. The game is visually stunning, but there's nothing like the police station in Resident Evil 2, a satisfying, sprawling area that you get to explore. In comparison, Resident Evil 3 tends to rush you through its small linear stages. It also comes with a 4v1 multiplayer mode called Resistance. Overall, it's an entertaining game that brings one of the series' less heralded entries right up to date. Moving on to Minecraft Dungeons. It's an isometric action RPG set in the legendary Minecraft world, built by Mojang using Unreal Engine 4. It's partially inspired by Diablo 3 and has a heavy emphasis on loot and combat. You'll explore procedurally generated branching levels with up to 3 friends, smacking mobs, solving simple puzzles, and gearing up your characters. You'll fight above and below ground across multiple levels. You'll recognize zombies, creepers, and sheep. Minecraft Dungeons has drop-in co-op locally and online. Note that you won't be building or mining at all in dungeons like the main Minecraft game. There will be no loot boxes, no microtransactions, just the in-game currency only. It's a complete rethink of the tried and tested Minecraft formula, and in the future, it may be one of the best games of 2020. Next on our list, Someday You'll Return. It's a story-driven psychological horror game about a desperate search for a missing daughter deep in the woods. It will put players in the shoes of Daniel, father of Stella, who is forced to look for his runaway daughter in the ancient Moravian forests. While your survival skills and quick wits may advance your search, malevolent forces work against you, keeping you and Stella apart. As the search continues, the terrible secrets begin to unravel. It takes place in beautiful scenic areas of the Czech Republic, and it's great looking graphically. You can craft or repair things, pick up flowers to make potions, interact with your smartphone to use GPS, or call someone for your mobile light. The game is made by 2 Czech developers and shows big signs of being a promising title. Moving on to Hellpoint. It's an action RPG taking place on a space station soaked in a dark sci-fi atmosphere. Basically, it is Dark Souls set in a Dead Space universe, and it's very good at what it is. The space station orbits around a black hole, which triggers various dynamic events such as boss appearances, horde assaults, etc. It has dozens of melee and ranged weapons and armor pieces to suit your playstyle. If you struggle in games like these, you'll be relieved to know that the game supports online and coach cooperative play where the loot and experience are shared. And there's also a PvP component, but little info on how that will play out in game. Whatever the case, it definitely looks promising if your appetite for difficult third-person RPGs is insatiable. Next, Moving Out. It is a couch co-op game all about moving furniture in absurd locations, and it is a very enjoyable physics-based moving simulator that brings real meaning to couch co-op, especially if you have friends or family that can play alongside you. It may simply be the most fun thing to do in these lockdowns. The story mode can be played solo or with a team of 4. Yes, the players can cozy up on the couch to argue over the best way to move a couch. Are doors and windows standing in your furniture's way? Just blast through them, or just toss and smash your way to get the fastest times. How anything gets from point A to point B is never a straight line. To summarize, if you like arguing with your friends as you work together to move things, this is the game for you. Next on our list, Filament. It's another space-age but cozy puzzle game with narrative-driven adventure. As you may have surmised by now, it's a puzzle game set in space. The protagonist has stumbled into a situation in which he has to save a woman locked in the cockpit of her ship. She can get out, but she can't talk to you through the intercom. She walks you through the puzzles you have to solve so as to move through the ship and let her out, working out what happened to her missing crew along the way. Also, the artwork of the game is not the cold, sterile view of space so common among space games. Instead, it's a warm and lived-in atmosphere. When it comes to puzzle design, it's based on a cable you use to connect pillars. It's a wonderful puzzler, especially for gamers who like isolation and casual games. Moving on to Trials of Mana. The original Trials of Mana first launched in 1995, but it never came to the West until recently. While the action RPG has been fully recreated in 3D, you'll still carry out battles in real time in the field. Trials features 6 characters, each with their own stories that weave together. You form a party of 3 at the start, so you may have to replay the adventure to see all parts of the story. The game looks very cute visually, but also we found the animations kind of strange in most cutscenes. The game is fully modernized with graphic improvements, character voiceover support, a new soundtrack, and new ability system. The battles are enjoyable, making the game a good RPG experience. Next, Gears Tactics. It turns the Gears of War shooter formula into a tactics game, giving you a squad of customizable COGs who will carry out your orders against the Locust. Gears Tactics is a turn-based strategy game set 12 years before the first Gears of War. This is the first non-shooter release in the Gears series since the mobile game Gears Pop. It's a single-player only game and set to have no microtransactions. There are brutal executions, the Lancer chainsaw is back, you can slide into cover, and oversized muscly characters are everywhere you look. The maps are set in destroyed cities with emergence holes that pop up hordes of enemies. In short, Gears Tactics appears to retain the aesthetics that makes Gears memorable and moves it into an entirely new strategy game. Moving on to Predator, Hunting Grounds. It puts 4 player-controlled soldiers against a lone Predator player. They can choose to hunt the fire team as a scout, hunter, or berserker predator, each with their own abilities and weapons. The soldiers need to complete their own objectives and survive in the jungle as a simple FPS game may be. But for the Predator, it goes for full stealth action, which is the most fun part of this game. Working together as soldiers, you cut down the opposing forces, which are just AI, and make it back to the chopper alive, while the lone rival player, playing as Predator, will actively be surveying the scene, waiting for a chance to strike and hunt the soldiers. Overall, if you're a hardcore Predator fan, then go for this one.
There they are. Cutting.
And last but not least, SnowRunner. It puts you in the driver's seat of terrain vehicles as you tackle open environments with very detailed terrain simulations. Drive 40 vehicles from popular brands such as Ford, Chevrolet, etc. in this open world. You play through the mud terrains, torrential waters, snow, and frozen lakes while taking on contracts and missions. You can buy and customize your fleet with upgrades and accessories like chain tires to battle the snow. These may seem boring from outside, but there's something rewarding about these sims. They're methodical and realistic, where every path is a puzzle whose solutions are made up of engines, tires, and a bit of math. Just getting from A to B is an achievement. If you're a Mudrunner fan, just think of snow as very cold mud. And that was all for this month. Share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video and subscribe to see more in the future. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.